Seems to be really kind of busy and exhausting lately, so I'm pre-recording this in the afternoon. I hope to get this up on Wednesday, October 14th. It's been a long week for everybody already, but we're halfway there, right? We've got Thursday and Friday left. So just welcome. So this is going to be a yin session. So I'm going to be setting my timer. We'll hold each pose for about 3 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. I haven't done Yin Yoga in a while. I've noticed when I was doing it, my hips were a little out of line, and so things felt like a little weird for me. So I was trying to let my body figure out what was going on. Turns out I needed a different backpack and maybe not to go as deep into some of the poses that I was doing before. So now that I've got backpack situation figured out and some other things, just making sure that my body's strong and I'm not pushing it too much, because it's really easy to do. Even in yoga, it can be really easy, just sort of like, even if as you're chilling in a pose, you may have like pulled a muscle or something. So today's session, Yin Yoga. We're going to focus on, we're just going to do very gentle, holding the poses, that kind of thing. So we're going to go through child's pose. We'll do janu first, so janu srirsasana. Then we'll do janu twists, just to help with the back. Again, me and my backpack here, I gotta wring out my back every evening. We'll do wide-legged fold, and then we'll do like gentle twisting on either side that way. And then to get our hips back in line, we'll do a seated tadasana. But then we'll also maybe do a figure 4 while we're laying on our backs, and some gentle, easy twists on the back from the floor that way. So I hope you enjoy this session. Go ahead, grab pillows if you need them. This isn't really a restorative class, but you can use them if you want. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So we'll go ahead and get into our child's pose. Now, I don't tend to hold child's pose for very long, because for me, I notice that my hips and my feet tend to get really tingly within about a minute. So it's not a pose that I like to hold for very long. So I will set my timer for 3 minutes, and we'll see if we get that far. All right. So what it's doing now, I just want it to be on the timer, and it's giving me problems, and that's not fun at all. Come here. Just 3 minutes. That's all I want. There we go. I don't need it to do digital apps. Okay, so coming into our child's pose, go ahead, come onto your knees. Try and maybe have your feet closer towards the end of your mat, the back of your mat. Knees out wide. We will do a wide-legged pose. So bring your knees out wide, push your butt back towards your heels, and stretch forward. And then just lay on the mat here for a while, right? So your butt should be between your heels. Feet are going to be together, almost like a frog maybe. And then just come on down here. Forehead to the mat, stretching your arms out wide, stretch your fingers out wide. Okay. If this is too much on the hips, if it feels like it's too much on the hips, go ahead and just bring those knees back together. And you can just do a normal child's pose here, like I'm going to do, because my hips are not going to like that today. And you notice as soon as I got into that position that I changed it, right? So that's okay, right? Do what feels good for your body right here, right now. Okay. So maybe instead of like super wide, maybe I just bring my knees out slightly, enough to bring my belly in between my legs. That's a much better pose for me, as opposed to having my knees all the way out to the edges of my mat. All right. Stretching those hands out long, head towards the mat, and just breathe here, right? Now I'm really tight up in my shoulders. Oh. And I ate a late lunch, so I feel like really weird and gross. Or I was like hangry earlier. Did not have enough food. Cliff Bar will only get you so far. And then stretch those fingertips towards the front of the mat as far as you can. Just a few more seconds here. Start to breathe a little more deeply into those shoulders. Maybe you have some audible breaths as you push yourself up, bringing your hands back towards your knees. Come on up to all fours, and then come on down to a seated position. That felt nice, right? Right? All right, so janu srirsasana. So what you're gonna do, we're gonna do stretch our right leg out first. Bring your left leg, your left foot into your right thigh, right? Your inner right thigh. So you look like that. Go ahead and bring your arms up overhead on an inhale. Twist towards that leg, and then exhale forward. Oh, now you may not be able to reach all the way to your toes like I can. You may reach all the way past those and have your elbows to the floor, right? Some people can be really bendy here. I just want to be able to stretch out both my back and my hamstring, so I should be able to feel all this throughout my entire leg, as well as through my back and my shoulders, right? If you can't reach your feet, you can reach towards your calf, reach towards your knee, just as far as you can. Right? I've said it before, I'll say it again. When I was younger, I couldn't even touch my toes, right? So it's just a matter of seeing where we're at and just working with that. I would say I was probably able to touch my toes about 6 years ago, so that was about 6 years into doing yoga, right? So it took that long. So it may be another 6 years before my elbows get to the floor, right? Actually, there are some days where it will do that for me, but I'm not going to push myself today. I'm just going to enjoy how this feels right now. Breathe. Right. Yin Yoga is also about trying to find some stillness with the breath while we're in the pose that's comfortable enough, but also slightly pushing ourselves, right? So it's restorative in a way, but it's not really restorative because we're not relaxing completely. We're still feeling the stretch here. It can be very gentle, right? So we're not, again, don't push yourself, right? Go only as far as it feels good for you today, right? Rolling the shoulders down away from the ears, right? If you need to reset, come on back up. Maybe bring your arms up overhead again, twist towards that leg again, and then come on down. Right, and keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. If you breathe here, I can still feel the breath in my neck and my shoulders. I feel really tense. I think election season's gotten to me. I am super tense and super tired. Been volunteering with some organizations to send out text messages to people. So, you know, just trying to get people out and voting, you know? And it's just really stressful, and I'm grateful that I have ad blockers, and then I don't normally watch cable because I'd probably be driving myself nuts right now. So come on out of that gently. Maybe you put your hands on the floor, pushing yourself up bit by bit, bringing your hands back towards your hips. It feels good. All right, so go ahead, bring that left leg out, bring your right leg in, arms up overhead, twist towards that leg, and then exhale and come on down. All right, so we're just gonna chill here for another 3 minutes. Again, rolling the shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe you only reach towards this calf muscle. Maybe you can only get to this ankle. That's okay. Go to where it's comfortable for you. Okay. Make sure you're bending at your hip. You'll still feel a back stretch here. Right? And you should still feel some stretch in your shoulders as well. I can definitely feel it in my back, and it's probably because of the giant backpack I carry on my new campus. Just carrying my research back and forth, carrying my notebooks. All the computers. Just stretch here, 2 more minutes. And maybe while we're stretching here, and we find our stillness, we're breathing, and we recognize that it is October, and I had mentioned that it's election season in the United States. It doesn't mean it's election season anywhere else. But it is autumn, right, in the northern hemisphere, and that means abundance, that means fall, that means harvest time, right? So maybe think about things, and maybe we'll get more into this in November with the 30 days of being grateful that everyone's been, posting about for years. But, think about things that you might be grateful for today, or things that are abundant in your life, right? And for me right now, I am grateful that I can do this and that I have the time today to be able to do so. A couple more seconds here. Like I said before, if you need to readjust and bring your arms up overhead and then come on back down, you can do that. Some deep breaths here, really feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, right? Just a gentle stretch, nothing too much, right? Don't go too far. Now, I haven't stretched my body, well, I don't want to say that. I do yoga in the evenings, but I just haven't recorded anything or done anything online in a few weeks. And I've noticed that my body's gotten a lot more tense. So you definitely need to do this every day. All right, so time to come on up, and slowly, gently bringing your hands towards that leg and then pushing yourself up, moving the hands back towards the body. And then we'll go ahead and we'll come into a wide-legged fold, right? So this might be where you want to grab a couple of the pillows so you can just sort of forward fold on top of them. I'm not going to stretch way out like I normally do, so I'm just going to do just a little bitty wide-legged fold, not as far, like slightly more than hip width distance for me, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring my arms up overhead on an inhale, and then exhale towards those toes, but I'm gonna reach towards both my feet, all right? And then I'm just gonna chill here in this position for 3 minutes. So you'll notice that, at least for me, right, rolling the shoulders down away from the ears, because it's really easy to do this while you're in that position, right? Keep those shoulders down. Breathing, bringing yourself forward. If you have the pillow, just go ahead and just pop yourself on it. Maybe your hands will just sort of fall off to the side. That's all right. If I do this super wide right now, like I said before, I'll notice it in my hips tomorrow. So, just going to try and keep it as gentle as possible. All right, so just kind of keeping it like this for now. Just breathing and relaxing. My body, even though I've been sleeping, like I still wake up at 5 a.m. It's just me. Like to get my walk in early, get some exercise done, and then come home, do some work, then go to work, and then come home. And by the time I come home in the evenings, I'm done. I'm tired because I've been doing stuff all day. And so, acknowledging that it's hard right now. Yeah. Acknowledging that I haven't seen any of my friends or family since June. And letting that be. Acknowledging there's a dust storm outside. West Texas is a really interesting place. It's really windy right now. It's also like 90 something. So yes, all right. So start to come on out of that. Maybe put your hands in the center of the mat, towards the center of your body, and then slowly but surely move those hands back towards your body. Pushing yourself back up, bringing your head up last so you don't get too dizzy while we're doing this stuff. All right. So, if you need to, maybe move the legs a couple times back and forth because we're going to do a wide-legged twist. So again, keeping those legs wide, a little more than hip width distance, and we're going to twist towards our right leg. So let me hit repeat on that. So go ahead, bring our arms up overhead, twist towards that right leg. You can reach towards your right leg here, or have your left hand grab that right ankle, okay? And then just sort of maybe your left hand, or yeah, your right hand is just sort of chilling here, your left hand's on this ankle, right? So you can see me, I'm facing you. This isn't too terribly straining on my body. I do feel this a lot more in my back than anything else, right? So I'm gonna also do this because things got shifted there. So just moving that. I'm going to try, go ahead and get into that position again. Exhaling on the way down. And just breathing here, right? Shoulders down, away from the ears. Loosening up some of that tension in the back and in the neck. So, I might just start ranting about voting rights for a moment. Like I'd said before, West Texas is an interesting place. Voting in the United States has always been weird. You know, until 1920, women weren't allowed to vote. Until the 60s, even, you know, Black, Indigenous, people of color in the United States had issues. So, you know, it's particularly African Americans. And then we still have issues where one party doesn't want the other party to vote. And, you know, trying to have one ballot box per county in the state of something like Texas, which is massive, is ridiculous. And so, so voting is important. So if you can get out and vote, go do it. You know, I'd say I don't care who you vote for. I'm clearly biased. Any of you who have seen any of my other previous videos knows this. But just in general, it's not something everybody's always had. Democracy is a participatory action, right? It's not just sit back and watch. Right? It's a participatory sport. we have to make our voices heard. So go make your voice heard at the ballot box if you're in the United States. All right, so come on out of that gently. Maybe bring those hands back towards the floor. Moving your hands back towards the body slowly. Bring yourself up slowly. All right, so I'm gonna roll my leg a few times here because we've been in this position a while, which is why we're gonna do Tadasana after this, just to sort of get all our hips and everything back in a line. So I'm gonna twist this way. My legs out long. Repeat here, and this time I'm going to twist towards the left leg. So I've moved so I can keep myself towards the camera here. Bring your arms up overhead on an inhale. Exhale towards that foot, right? You can stay here, or for a deeper twist, you can go ahead and grab that ankle and then just sort of lean towards the other way, right? And I might need to crack my toe knuckle here. I've been doing pliés every day, which makes me feel good, but it also has been strengthening my feet in ways that I didn't realize that my feet were and have been. They're strong, but you know, like I said before, you guys know if you've watched other videos that I have this bad ankle, and that I tend to twist it once every couple months, so. So try to I've been doing pliés maybe to kind of help with those ankle lifts and the toes and like everything else, you know. All right, so just sort of twisting down this way, right? If it feels good, go ahead and maybe come on down to your forearm here. You don't have to, right? And again, if you've got a pillow and you just sort of want to like plop yourself on that, go ahead, just do it in a way that's gentle for you and that you're kind of keeping your body in some sort of alignment, right? So, but it is easier to keep that maybe elbow down. Do this. So yeah, so voting has not always been easy for people in the United States. Only landowners could vote at first, certainly no women. You know, and even up until 50s, 60s, and 70s when we weren't allowed to own property. Like, so it's just been, you know, it boggles my mind, really, how far we've come and how far we still have yet to go, because there are people that remember what it was like and they want to continue those things. So, you know, I have to stand up and say we don't want to continue those things, we want to change. And so yeah. I could go on and on. I think one more thing before I do though. We were talking about Mary Wollstonecraft earlier. She's the mother of the woman who wrote Frankenstein, so she's Mary Shelley's mom. So Mary Wollstonecraft wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Women in 1790 something. And apparently we have a copy of it here at Texas Tech, so that's kind of cool, right? All right, so come on up, stretch, bring those hands back towards your body, bring your head up last. That feels good. All right. Bring those legs together, wiggle side to side, get those sits bones down onto the ground. And then inhale, arms up overhead, exhale, hands towards those toes. And yeah, and I am not very stretchy here. And this is kind of like our seated forward fold. So we're just sort of chilling here, looking at our toes. It's driving me crazy. It won't crack. There it goes. Okay. All right. Now I'm done. All right. She wrote a couple other things. She wrote other essays about women's rights and that kind of thing back in the 1790s. She had a daughter who was also named Mary. Mary ran off with Percy Bysshe Shelley, got married She wrote Frankenstein, and yeah, yay British, British history. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, no, it's one of those collections I learned about before, but I kind of forgot because with everything that's been going on, trying to teach myself the new job, trying to teach myself new stuff, yoga has been constant, but I've not been practicing as much as I should, right? I've also been doing a lot of research with yoga. Yoga Alliance makes all of their things available via YouTube, so if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend looking at them. But they do these scientific research, I don't want to say courses, kind of like workshops, but they're basically just kind of going over research that people have been doing on yoga, and they're not at points where it's like, well, this pose is better than that pose. It's more like, yes, people who practice yoga have more resiliency. Yes, people who practice yoga can remember things better. Or yes, people who practice yoga have been better able to deal with some of the things that happen because you have cancer. And some of the studies are too small to be able to make those kinds of generalizations. So it's really interesting that this is like where that kind of research is going. I currently have a survey up and running as well. All right, let's come out of this pose. Slowly but surely bringing your hands towards your legs and pushing yourself up bit by bit. Walking those hands back towards the front of the body. Oh, that feels good, right? Oh, man. All right, I've been stretching out my legs a lot today. All right, what's next? All right, so we're going to do some back poses. We're going to do figure 4. Again, another hip opener, but a very gentle one. But it's also a leg stretch. And then we'll do easy twist left and easy twist right, and then savasana. Okay? All right, so coming down onto our backs. Here we go. Ooh, all the way down. Oh, I got my hair thingy and I have to take that out. All right, all the way down. Maybe take a moment here and just sort of breathe. And after doing all those poses, now my back is like, wow, that felt weird. So maybe, do some adjustments here while you're on the floor. Stretch this way, stretch that way. That feels good. All right. Feet flat on the floor, knees up in the air. And go ahead and bring your right ankle to your left knee. And we'll just pop that leg up off the floor. Right now. You can stay here, or you can stretch this leg all the way up towards the top. So now that you can see more of that figure 4 position, and maybe I'll twist this way a little bit so you can maybe see it better on the camera. So yeah, so now it looks like a figure 4. Go ahead, wrap your hands behind that leg. So you can keep this in tabletop position here, or you can just pop it all the way up. If you want a deeper leg stretch, deeper hamstring stretch. And just relax. Right, have your back melt into the floor. You should feel it in your hip, right? Right, maybe keeping that knee out. Right, feel it in your hip just slightly, right? You don't want anything too deep here. All right. I'll just bring that back down. And just breathe. Maybe you hear the traffic outside. Maybe your heat turned on. Maybe your air conditioner turned on. I know my air conditioner's has been on, so. Maybe you hear the wind blowing outside. Maybe it's a foggy morning or foggy day where you're at. I mean, fall is definitely different in different areas of the United States, so, and different parts of the world, as you can see from my brightly shining windows. Maybe bring that foot in a little closer to you, right, as we melt further into the floor. And this will give you a deeper stretch in that hip, in the hip flexor, right? Right. The closer to your body that becomes, the deeper this stretch. So when you really pull it in towards your chest, you're really going to start to feel that in the back of the leg and in this inner thigh area, all right? So again, just sort of being careful and aware of where we're at, what we're doing. Well, anyway, like I said, I'm doing my own just survey of research literature as well. All right, come on out of that. Put your leg back down. Come on back into neutral position with your both feet flat on the floor. Your back is flat on the floor. Yeah. So we're going to repeat that for our second side. Bring your left foot up to that, or your left ankle crosses the right knee. Go ahead and pop your right leg up off the floor. Hands in between your legs here. And just chill. Right? So I'll go ahead, I'll stretch up for a moment or two. Maybe I point the toes so I can feel a stretch in my ankle. But I find it really interesting. There have been some yoga programs there's been yoga programs at college campuses for a long time. Some are like classes, some of them are just like extracurriculars, that kind of thing. Library programs, we've done those for a long time, right? Particularly in the public libraries. I'm trying to figure out if we've done them at campus libraries, and that's been a little more difficult. So I was kind of hoping to get more people to participate in my research study, but I'll send that out again and see if I can get more people to take the survey. Sometimes I think some things get lost, or people are just tired of taking surveys. Or maybe they haven't had a yoga program and don't think that the survey is for them, but it kind of is, because I just want to know, if you took this, if you have a yoga program, great. If not, why not? Well, why not later? I'm sure there are some other options to that as well. How do I get in contact with a local yoga instructor? Who should I do this with? We don't have the funds. We only started offering yoga because of COVID-19, so that's the kind of stuff I'm looking at. And then for the people who have practiced yoga, if they felt like it contributed to helping them through this time. So that's what I'm doing. That's where we're at. There are other parts to go with that, right? So there's more than self-care than just yoga, and it's not the only reason that I practice it. There are others. But yeah, all right. So I'm done talking. A couple of deep breaths here. Come on back into your body, right? And then go ahead and put your feet back onto the floor. Wiggle side to side. Oh, so you can feel those hips again. Oh, yeah. That feels good. One way and then this way. right. So now we're going to do an easy twist. So what I want you to do is bring those legs at your knees in towards your chest. We're going to go ahead, we're going to twist towards the left first. So go ahead, put your left hand on the side of that right knee, and then bring those knees down. Oh, that feels so good, right? Keep your right arm stretched, and then look towards that right arm. So you should be able to feel a stretch from your on your right side here and through that back. And I promise I'll stop rambling. It feels so good though. I just hope I'll be able to go get my snack box soon. Alright, let's go ahead, bring your legs back in towards that center position. We'll go ahead and switch sides this time. So bring your knees in towards your chest, very gently. Go ahead, bring your right hand towards that left knee. And just bring those knees down towards that right side, twisting towards the left. Just for a few minutes here, just breathe, feeling this gentle stretch through the back and the sides here. Ooh, oh my goodness. I can definitely hear that wind through my fireplace. It's not coming in through my fireplace, but I can hear it. If you live somewhere that doesn't have dust storms, be grateful, because it is amazing. And it makes me wonder if this place had dust storms before we lived here, before it was inhabited by anybody, because you know what that land looked like. Right now it's because it's so flat, it lends itself to agriculture really well, unless it's like 110 degrees outside. But because we're people, we find a way. And, while you be grateful for the cotton and whatever else that comes from Lubbock, and the agriculture here, when the wind starts ripping through those fields, because it's so flat, it picks up all the dust and all of the dirt. And the sky turns fun colors. And I spend my time inside because I have asthma and it's scary. Alright, let's go ahead, bring those knees back in towards our chest. towards the center of our bodies and then in towards our chest. Maybe we give ourselves a big old hug here, rocking side to side, really rolling out the back. Oh yeah, that feels good. Maybe we'll throw in a quick happy baby here because that'll help as well. Just twisting back and forth a couple times. Knees in towards the elbows and then just rock back and forth. Yeah. All right, now go ahead. Lay long, put those legs out long. And come on into savasana. So heels together, feet fall apart, hands down by your sides. And we'll just chill here for 3 minutes. While I listen to the dust storm. Being grateful for what is abundant in our life at this time. It's hard to be grateful for dust. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do some sweeping again later. But I know that today we'll have cooler weather after this, so I'll be grateful for our last 90-degree day. As our seasons change. Maybe I'll make some more pumpkins later. Maybe your eyes are open, maybe they're closed. You want to start to deepen the breath. Come on back to yourself. Maybe stretch your arms up overhead. Bring them back down in towards your body. Roll onto your right side. And slowly push yourself up. Doesn't have to be graceful. That's not what this is about. All right. So I want to thank you for being with me today. I don't have anything to read at the moment. Let's see here. Was there something from before? Oh, here's the one from it's called Late October from Maya Angelou. I may have read it before for one of the other videos, for the video I did for welcoming the fallen. But in this case, this one is from Maya Angelou. It's from 1971. And it says, "Only lovers see the fall, a signal end to endings. A gruffish gesture alerting those who will not be alarmed that we begin to stop in order to begin again." Okay? So here's to beginning again, and beginning again, and beginning again. And thank you for your time today. This practice went about 45 minutes, so I'm grateful for you. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. Whenever you watch this, namaste.